Good evening and welcome to 7 News. Tonight, a fire is burning out of control north of Perth, with several coastal towns being told to brace for impact. It's a massive blaze. The fire front stretches almost 50 kilometres.
It's already burned through close to 50,000 hectares. As crews lose daylight, it's bearing down on Cervantes, where residents have been told it's now too late to leave. James Carmody begins our coverage in the town under threat.
Too late to leave. All residents in Cervantes could do was watch and wait as a fire too fast to outrun burned towards the fishing town. They're not safe and they're at the mercy of the wind.
A little bit up and down, I don't know, it all depends on the wind.
Their plan is to use the sand as a sanctuary, boats ready if they need a quick getaway.
It's a big sand patch down at the beach, so there's plenty of protection down there.
For nearby towns, the warning is bleak. Prepare for impact.
The Grey Shacks community, we're now asking the community to shelter in place. And the Wedge Shacks community, we're also asking the community to shelter in place with that emergency warning. The
fire started Monday, sparked by a car crash. So far, 49,000 hectares have been burnt and counting. In Cervantes, streets are empty. Many chose to leave. Caravan parks and tourist hotspots like the Lobster Shack shut. And some who chose to hang back are now camped out at the beach, watching the fire from the water's edge, hoping the elements don't collide. Here in Cervantes, emergency services have since yesterday been urging people to get out of town if they don't have a plan, and from today they've been saying it's too late to leave. But this is a fishing town and a lot of people have large boats, and they say that they are prepared and ready to use the ocean as their escape route if need be.
The conditions presented to us over the course of today and yesterday have been difficult and challenging to suppress and contain the fire.
And it's not been the only fire front of concern. A blaze to the east at 2J threatened homes. Roads in the area closed due to downed power lines. Buildings, fortunately, were saved from the flames. Crews stretched and accepting all the help that comes their way. Large tankers have now arrived in Cervantes as DFES brace for what tomorrow will drop on them. James Carmody, 7 News.
Let's go live now to Lockie Byrne at the control point in Jurien Bay, 25 kilometres north of Cervantes. Lockie, it's been a long few days out there on the fire ground. The crews must be exhausted.
That's right, Rick. It's been an extraordinary effort from our fireys out here this week, and the job is far from over. About 200 of them were out on the fire grounds today. That will be scaled back to about 60 overnight as the weather cools. They'll also have access to the aerial fleet for about another hour, if not less. That's when the sun is due to set and they'll lose their light. Here in Jurien Bay, an evacuation point has been set up at the local sport and recreation ground. About 30 people stayed there overnight. There was also a community meeting held there today. Thankfully, at this stage, there are no reports of any damage to homes or infrastructure, but DFES continues to investigate that. We also have an update tonight on the injured volunteer firefighters who were burnt out here yesterday. One of them, a man in his 60s, has now been discharged from Fiona Stanley Hospital after receiving care there overnight. And Sue, the second firefighter, they received minor injuries and were treated at the scene. We've been told that they have now returned to the fire ground to continue battling this blaze. Just another example of the heroics of these firefighters. So,
something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door.